Howdy, my name is Mitchell Beeson. This is just going to be a quick presentation over some of the online book resources that we went over this week in class. So first we have Epic. Here's just kind of my little biographic part about it. Utilizing Epic in my future classroom, I definitely would assign some readings through it. There were a lot of good scientific resources through it, a lot of good Nat Geo readings that I found just in some superficial searching. So that was really good. Yeah, I'd say either some supplemental information or some maybe self-research, self-find information for the students. That website could be really good. I think this could impact learning just because it would make students so that they can get information when they're not in the classroom, as well as make it so that they can look back on information without explicitly just taking notes. I really liked Epic because, I could assign things to students at home through the family plan if that's available at my school. I think this could be a really positive impact on learning because, as I said, students can kind of have that information outside of just the classroom. So for Epic, I cited the For Teachers Facilitator 2.6.B, which is going to be, Facilitator, manage the use of technology in student learning strategies in digital platforms, virtual environments, hand-on makerspaces, or in the field. So with this Epic, you're managing the use of technology for your students on the digital platforms for them to kind of just learn more with your guidance. And then the science standard that I cited was SC HSB 9.E, Evaluate Evidence. So I will just pull that up quick. Forgot what it was already. I'm going to Command F this on this here. Evaluate evidence supporting claims that gene regulation can explain the variation and distribution of expressed traits in a population. So what I thought was that my students who were studying this would be able to look up different resources through Epic to be able to find evidence of supporting these claims of gene regulation and variation. I thought that would be a great use of Epic, and it matched great with the standard. So now moving on, we have Storyline Online. This one was a little harder for me because, to me, this one feels a little more geared towards elementary teachers. This application wouldn't be super beneficial towards 7th through 12th graders, especially when looking at it through a scientific lens. I could see it used for elementary teachers, but yeah, like I said, in a high school sense, I don't really see this being used. Regardless of that, I cited For Teachers Leader 2.2b, and that is right here. Advocate for equitable access to educational technology, digital content, and learning opportunities to meet the diverse needs of all students. With this online book reader, it's a great way for students that either aren't great at reading or are still learning to reading, maybe even in English language learner. This would be a great resource to help them learn the language and also still have a book available for them to be able to kind of get the information from. And then for this one, I said not applicable to my 7th through 12th classroom. And there are science standards if we go on here and go way, way, way back up to the top. There are science standards for elementary students that we can see up here. You have 1st grade, you have 2nd grade. But when I was looking around that site, let me see if I can pull it up here quick. The stories that I could find on there were mostly kind of just fictional children's stories, which is fine. It's good. You need that in a classroom. Oh, I'm frozen. Okay, we're back. But I didn't really see anything that was necessarily beneficial towards a science classroom, in my opinion. I'm sure there might be something in there that would be beneficial towards a science classroom or teaching a concept, but just at a superficial view, I don't really see anything that really makes me like jump towards that as a high school educator and especially as a science educator. Then moving on to Book Creator. Created a quick book. I'd utilize Book Creator to, honestly, I think it would be a great way to make presentations that the students would go through in their own time. The adding audio clip kind of concept of it is really good to me. I really like that because I can put a lot of information and pictures on the slides or on the pages, and then I can have my little blurbs of what I'd like to add extra to just like kind of the bare bones notes from the slides that they'd get. Yeah, I could use this tool to impact learning where students could kind of have this information in their back pocket as supplemental or as kind of a self-guided walkthrough where I'm actually still teaching, but they're going through the information on their own time. Then share the book that you created. Let me find that quick. Trying to pull it over. So, yep. Here's the book I created. It's My Dream Vacation to the Dolomites. Dolomites are a mighty mountain range in northern Italy, right up here in Italy. Stunning views, built-in planned hikes from hut to hut, amazing people and culture. This has been a dream vacation of mine for a long time since I started backpacking. And then the cost, it's really variable, but flight will be around $1,300 through Delta. And other costs are variable beyond that just because of the amount of comfort that you want, hotels you're staying in, the amount of food that you get, stuff like that. There's my book. So now connecting this to ISTE standards. So I connected this to For Teachers Designer 2.5.B. So looking at that, you can see it's designing authentic learning activities that align with content area standards and use digital tools and resources to maximize active, deep learning. So you're designing the book that your students are going to be using for kind of this education. And I think that's just, it really connects with this ISTE standard to me really well because you're designing that learning activity. Another one that I almost went for this one was the student standard empowered learner or innovative designer, just being able to kind of create your own things and taking kind of action to do that. Then connecting this up to the science standards, I connected to SCHS.7.2C. So going to our science standards, we find that is, I think that copied right. 7.2C. Man, I'm sorry. This is, I thought I had this pulled up. HS.7.2.C. Okay, here it is. Evaluate the claims, evidence, and reasoning that the interactions in ecosystems maintain relatively consistent numbers and types of organisms and stable conditions, but changing conditions may result in a new ecosystem. So I thought that evaluating claims, evidence, and reasoning would really connect well with kind of a more book resource that they're using for this assignment, or even that for a standard like this, they could even make a book themselves and kind of display their claims, evidence, and reasoning for drawing these conclusions. All right, and I believe that's it for this recording. Thank you very much, and I hope you have a good day.